At any given point along the way, I've always had at least one mentor. And, I think mentors, as we go on, there's no mentor I've had for more than a couple of years, right? Because I find mentors that help me at certain points, right? So one of my mentors is a good friend of mine named Sanford, who early on, when I was starting User Voice, had been around the Valley enough just to kind of give me tips and tricks and help give me some feedback and just be the guy I could be honest with and kvetch with, when we're a 5-person startup or a 7-person startup. As people say, being a CEO is kind of a lonely job. So it's important to find someone that you can trust, that you can be honest with, and know that they won't use that against you or that won't get out. When we raised our first round of funding, I went to our lead investor and said, one of the things I want is an advisor who is a CEO of a startup who is funded, who's 3 to 4 years ahead of where we are. And I want to make sure we have equity to bring that person on board. And they were very open and receptive to that. And they even gave suggestions. Like I said, our lead investor gave suggestions. And this great guy named Scott Middick has been an advisor of mine ever since. And so he's been great in terms of, in a lot of cases, he just gave me pep talks. He just told me, yeah, you're on the right path, And so sometimes you just need that because no one else around you seems to be telling you these things, right? You can't really sometimes show that vulnerability around your team and things like that. So that's really useful. One of my mentors now, honestly, is my fiance. She's her name's Gretchen Curtis, Gret Curtis on Twitter. And she's an amazing head of marketing over a company called Piston Cloud Computing. And I actually just took over marketing at User Voice about 6 months ago. And a lot of the stuff I've learned is her mentoring me on, what marketing is, because honestly, I had no idea. She's just really great at brand building and kind of, almost storytelling, like I said, PR and comms, which is where I think a lot of the opportunity in marketing is today. I think a lot of the technical marketing stuff that by the time everyone's onto it, everyone's onto SEO and SEM, means it's kind of time to move on to something else. So at User Voice, we just launched our first event, UserConf. I'm obsessed with, brand building, great design, event building, doing events. And also, I'm looking at more ways to send people things in the mail, snail mail, right? So whatever people aren't doing, direct mail, whatever people aren't doing in marketing anymore, whatever's not cool is totally cool in my book. And so she's been one of my mentors recently with that, which is kind of awesome.